Good job.
Now,
Good
there's
job,
two
everyone.
massive stories
Balance
in other sports that we need to talk about. Daniel Snyder and the latest evolution on the Kyrie Irving saga. Let's start there. Kyrie Irving and the Nets in the Anti-Defamation League put out a joint statement, a statement that did not feature an apology from Kyrie Irving, an announcement that he was going to be donating to the cause. Your takeaway from yet another Kyrie moment that I think misses the mark, David?
I spent 20 minutes this morning talking about this, and I'm gonna summarize and tell you one thing of note that I didn't get to on Nothing Personal. Where's Adam Silver? I'm just curious. Is he on vacation?
Mm-hmm.
He's plenty happy to give you quotes about Myers Leonard. Plenty ready to talk about how ridiculous it is what he did. Find him. Give a statement. Where are you, Adam? I'm so angry about this situation, not because I'm Jewish. This is not about anti-Semitism. This is about how we allow certain players to get away with something and other players not to. And it's all based on politics, race, talent. And I don't get it. What Kyrie Irving did with the ADL, don't blame the ADL. That's their job, to raise money. They're scouring the earth looking for racists and looking for opportunities to try to get settlements and donations. That's what they do, so they can do programs to try to cure the world of racism and anti-Semitism. Don't blame the Nets for doing whatever they can to get something announced, some sort of punishment. But the tone of his statement and Kyrie's words was so disingenuous that it's laughable. Do the Nets or Kyrie actually believe that anyone believes what he said? That wants to be a beacon of light? He's a beacon of darkness and anger and hatred. That's it. $500,000 that he gets to deduct, by the way, as a charitable donation. And Myers Leonard, where are you? Disappeared.
David, let me ask you a question.
Angry. I'm sorry, Mike.
No, it's all right, man. But like, this is the question I'm asking. What is a reasonable inference we can make on why Adam Silver is not forward on this? Is there some sort of technicality or legality issue? Because it just seems like a very odd place for him to not have a strong voice. And by the way, we mentioned this on the show the other day. The original statement that the NBA put out and the NBPA put out mentioned, hey, we're totally against anti-Semitism, but they never mentioned him by name, Kyrie, or why they're having this conversation. It's just like out of the blue. I'm not here for people who cut down trees. We need trees. And then just walking away like, well, that's great, but why are you bringing this up out of the blue?
It's funny. Were they fooling anybody when they did those original statements? I like that. It's very hard in PR when something happens because you feel like you want to get something out. You don't want to be quiet for too long because you want to start controlling the narrative. But on the other hand, you're always cautioned by crisis PR people. Let's make sure we've got the facts. Make sure before we say anything that what we're saying is something that we want to say and that should be said. So the NBA and the NBAPA were only too happy to get it out there. And you're so right. People look at that as sort of, oh, that must be the Kyrie thing. But the general rule of thumb is when you make a statement is that you explain to people context, why you're doing it. In response to Kyrie Irving's Instagram promotion of a hate-filled movie, we believe there's no place for anti-Semitism, something like that. Instead, it's just like a dangling modifier. Adam Silver is Jewish. Is that why he's not saying anything? No. He was happy to say something about Myers. Is he on vacation? Doesn't matter. There's communication right now. There's cell phones, etc. The only possible explanation is he is scared. Adam Silver is scared of Kyrie and Kyrie's army, because Kyrie has an army as an omnist, that there will be some sort of blowback if he is too harsh on him. And that is part of the problem, that we have somehow enabled Kyrie to be Kyrie and that he is the victim. And it absolutely makes me crazy.
But David, the NBA, I mean, I can remember when they came down hard on Kobe Bryant for using a homophobic slur at a referee in the middle of a game. Same thing with Rajon Rondo. And at a time that I would say that the tolerance for LGBTQ people was a lot lower than it is now, right? The tolerance for homophobic language, particularly in sports, was a lot higher back then than it is now. And yet they took on Kobe Bryant, who is at the time the biggest face in the sport pretty much, and were unapologetic about this. It seemed a little weird to me that Kyrie, who is not as nearly as popular as Kobe was, and who's right now probably at the lowest level of popularity he's ever had, and
which is hard to believe,
and on the heels of what's happening in the country from what happened in 2017 in Charlottesville, all the way through the line to Kanye West in the last couple of weeks, I kind of feel like this was a slam dunk, no-brainer. No one's going to fight them on this one. Why would this be the moment where the league is, quote unquote, scared of the power of a player who most people, I would imagine, look at as kind of a circus act, a joke when it comes to these opinions?
So that may be the answer to your question, because Adam may not want to give it oxygen. He may say it's sufficient to have the Nets and ADL, because the league was consulted on all this. You do not do anything like this without speaking to the commissioner's office and the commissioner himself. They see the statement. They see what the fine is going to be. They are approving it. There's conversations with the union. All of that is happening at once. Adam Silver gets to choose where he takes a backseat and where he doesn't. He's got advisors who help him. And my guess is what the advisors said is there's nothing you're going to be able to add to this conversation. So therefore, stay quiet. That's the general rule of thumb. Unless you're adding, then don't say anything. But in this case, he could have added. And his advisors are wrong, because the way he adds is by coming out and saying, this is what the Nets want to do, and this is what Kyrie wants to do. It's not enough. This is what we're doing as a league so that everyone understands, players, staff, fans, sponsors, that there's a certain way of talking and a certain way of promoting and thinking that is not acceptable. And we are using Kyrie Irving as an example. And they had the opportunity. Now, in theory, they still have the opportunity if they come out today, but that expires 24 hours after a team does something. I believe that your ability to act has expired.
If you guys were talking honestly with Adam Silver in a private moment that wasn't public, are you totally sure that he's not afraid of the slippery slope of guys on social media not saying with their own mouths something, but linking to something, that he's not afraid of setting the precedent of you can't share things in public, even if it's not with your own mouth? Because the things you're talking about with Kobe Bryant and everyone else, it's things that were spoken from their mouth. Are you sure that I'm just trying to figure out what Silver, if there's another explanation other than he's scared of losing customers.
Your explanation is that he is scared, but in a different way. I don't think there's a slippery slope. It's just puzzling. Was there a back and forth that there wasn't an apology? There's no apology in this statement. Was this negotiated on behalf? The slippery slope, I think, is a little dangerous because it's anti-Semitism. There's a very clear line here. I don't think he's worried about precedent that you can't weigh in. You don't draw comparisons to anti-Semitism to other civil rights causes. This is anti-Semitism. This isn't a question of your freedom of speech. This is a workplace, and he should be punished.
But the question I'm asking you is what Silver's honest explanation would be. David is saying the only explanation there can be is the one that he's offering. I don't have a better one, but I'm asking, are there any others that Adam might choose from?
I won't lie. That sounds very likely, given that players share a bunch of things, including music lyrics, by the way, or quotes from things that are in quote unquote popular media.
Guys, it's anti-Semitism.
Are you kidding?
No, but no,
can we take a minute?
No. I'll give you a great example.
This is not in the same class.
It is. No, hold on. Anti-Semitism and racism is in the same class. It's not.
No, but sharing a song that has a bad word in it is not in the same class as sharing the movie
absolutely.
that Kyrie.
We're talking about pro-racism. Like the comparisons that Dan was drawing was being able to weigh in on important civil rights discussions and drawing comparisons that this might be that one. It's very clearly hate speech. I understand what you're talking about, rap lyrics. No, this is hate.
But absolutely, I get that, and I guess the distinction you could make is one is a work of fiction, right? Rap, music lyrics.
I'm just saying, when you say rap lyrics, it's going to sound to like, whoa, they can say the N-word.
No, I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about things like extreme misogyny. Go ahead and Google like.
You mean like a White Snake video?
More misogynistic than that.
More like a 3 6 Mafia Oscar nominated song.
Right. That a team plays.
That a team plays, and like
arena.
they're chanting "whoop that trick," but this is not. It's not on the same stratosphere.
Again, though,
Totally
Mike,
different in my
I'm
mind.
just asking you. We are faced right here. We're puzzled. Adam Silver is silent. And I'm asking you for other explanations than what David is saying, which is there is only one. I'm asking you, if Adam Silver were sitting right here and he could be totally honest about it, not afraid of consequences, and we're just talking about this the way he has to be talking about in private, what could be his reasoning from his mouth?
Is that directed toward me, Dan?
Yes. You don't?
I gave you my explanation.
David's theory is the best one right now, because if there was ever a time for Adam Silver to be shy about throwing his weight around, it might have been the Sarver thing, because it was complicated. Some time passed, and I think he started hitting the right notes. He did that interview with TNT where he spoke about it at length. For whatever reason, this is a miss by Adam Silver, I think.
He's not having a great 2022. Like in retrospect, like he's just getting shellacked left and right. Yeah, he used to be.
He was. He was the number one all through COVID. The leader, the beacon of light.
The NFL wanted him.